Hello, I have Colette Baron-Reid's Goddess Power, illustrated by Jenna Della Grottalia. My apologies. If you've been on my channel for a while, you know that I do have a hard time pronouncing some words, but that's all right, right? We all have something to work on. I'm not saying that's the only thing I have to work on, but it is one of those things. All right, so the Goddess Power, this came from in a box, which is this box here, if you can see that. That opens up to this box with the gold foiling on there. And then the cards come into here with this box with that little pull out, so pretty. Comes with the guidebook here. Sorry, my lighting is so horrible. That's kind of a bummer. We'll just work with what we got, right? That's how we just make magic happen. Work with what you got. The back of the deck says, the goddess is calling you to open up and reconnect with the universe in all her forms. The feminine aspect of the universe is rising to restore balance in the world. Will you answer the call and receive her guidance? Who could we become if we knew how to reclaim our true power? Striking, elegant interpretations of 52 goddesses from cultures all over the world await you in Goddess Power Oracle. Ellen of the Ways calls you to your path. Artemis offers to guide your arrow. Sarah Dwin urges you to trust in the unlimited potential of your life. World-renowned oracle expert Colette Baron-Reid bridges the mundane and the mystical as she guides you on a journey of self-empowerment and fruitful manifestation. I know that you've seen Colette's decks so many places and so many varieties. She is definitely connected. Gotta say, I do love every single one of her decks and the messages that they bring. Missed opportunity, I'd say here. There is not a gold foil here on the edges. I know. But considering it was here and here, it just seems like it would have been. But so we've got the guidebook here. It comes with your picture and it comes with the message and then an alignment message. You've got your empowerment message and your alignment message. We did end up opening to, what does it say? Is that a B, a gate? In, or the in-between. So standing in between what was and what will be. Who you've been and who you are coming. Oh, it's an H. Kate. And it reminds you that neither place is the home. You're asked to carefully choose the direction of your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and actions. Now is not the time for a hasty action or stubbornness, but a fierce self-inventory. Bless the past for what it has provided and release all attachments to the stories of what was. Very nice. I'm going to pause this and try to fix the lighting right quick. Bear with me. I will be right back. Okay. Is that better? I hope that's better. I had to take some things away. But we've got the deck here, what it's called. So you can see that, and then you can see that. The only thing is that the phone is there shadowing it. So I'll try to keep, I'll just put the back of the deck there, right? So the first card we have is adaptability. I am going to refrain from stating the names just because of what was mentioned earlier. First card is adaptability, romantic love, time, focus, loving the artwork, knowledge, beauty, forgiveness, creative spark, potential, assurance, nurturer, patterns, new beginnings, wise leadership, radical acceptance, earth, salvation, healing, the in-between, that's where we opened up in the book, alliance, home, communication, communion, rebirth, liberation, compassion, fortune, revelation, independence, truth, miracles, the moon, water, illusion, wisdom, the past, death and magic, ambition, secrets, generosity, devotion, inexperience, flow, mastery, transformation, the future, divine wisdom, co-creation, humor, reverence, the sun, stillness. Go ahead and do a quick reading. I want to apologize for my pup. She is back to scratching on her little doggy bed once again. She's had all day to do that, and she decides to do it as soon as I sit down and get set up to do this. So I'm not sure what that's about. But as all things, we don't let those little things kind of get to us, right? Oops. Romantic love. Yay for romantic love. It is a 2, so it could also be a choice. Maybe you're making a choice about a romantic love. Time. I don't know why that brings me to Cyndi Lauper, Time After Time. It's time for romantic love, and how interesting is that? You heard me shuffling, right? But yet we have a 2 and a 3 that came out. So it's time for romantic love. Are you keeping yourself from romantic love? Are you blocking that? And if you are, you may want to ask yourself, what could it be? Who can it be now? Just a little song that came to mind. It's time. You got to free yourself of the icy heart, right? The iciness of what you might think that has been involved with love. And just warm on up. Get out your pink, wear your pink. Maybe throw on a red light in the bedroom if you're ready to go to that extent. Even if you don't want to quite date yet, you can still have a red light in your room for you. It is pretty. They do have lights that have like multiple colors, and you can choose whatever color you'd like. Kind of like radiates out there like that. There's nothing wrong with self-love, right? Magic's in your hands. Revelation. It's a 10. Breaks down to a 1, the start of something. 1, 2, 3. Isn't that interesting? All take steps. And I have no idea why I'm trying to put the cards to the left of the deck or the original card. I don't know. Maybe I should have left it there. Perhaps you'll have a revelation in time about your romantic love and maybe what your blocks are there. And with that being at the bottom of the deck, truth. Also a 3. I think that confirms what we just said there. Potential. I think that's telling us that maybe you should just make sure that whatever you are getting involved in, that you're not only seeing the potential of it and you're seeing the reality of it, considering the Truth card came before it. Perhaps there's truth in the fact that you are ready for romantic love and the potential of romantic love. Potential can't be potential without a starting point, right? You've got to start. At least smile more at people for there to at least be a chance or a possibility. Break that frozen demeanor. I'm going to take this back and put in the little one here. I always want to be able to show whose cards we're using. It's just so important to support the actual artists of the cards. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to get these messages, making them as they have. But remember how icy this time card is? Perhaps you walk around and you don't smile very often. Maybe you're always looking at your phone, right? Look up, look around, see who's around you, engage with others. At least give it a chance for potential of romantic love instead of just shutting it down every single time. Only you know where you are with that. I can't tell you. But there's going to be truth revealed here about whatever your stance is. If you'd give it a consideration, just question it and ask yourself. Perhaps you just met somebody and there's potential there, but you will just know in time. The truth will always reveal itself whether they're a good match for you. It's not something that you have to decide right away, but definitely if you're seeing red flags, consider the red flags. Always ask yourself, is it a red flag that's real, or is it a red flag that I'm just trying to nitpick this person to death? You know how people will always have like one thing wrong. It's like, oh, it's not going to work now. Well, that's not usually the case sometimes. It just depends on what level degree it is that it doesn't fit in. Maybe it's not something that's really over the top, but for you it's just extra sensitive just because you haven't healed it yet. Right? I'm going to try not to keep saying right. I've noticed I've been doing that. Communion. Initially, of course, when I think of communion, I'm thinking of the commitment that we take and we make. When we drink the wine and we eat the bread and we are making a communion with God about what we're agreeing to and what we're accepting within. If you can hear, I'm looking through the book so I can find that page. I do wish that the page numbers were the same that were on the card, but I guess that's not, because these pages are like a page and a half for each one. And I have not found it yet. There it is. Your empowerment message, your intimate relationship with the invisible world is being called upon right now as you enter unfamiliar environments and situations. It's time to commune with the great goddess in the aspect of the consciousness universe in her most collaborative form. The world then becomes your oracle as it opens up and it communicates everything you need to know in sign of forms, signs, omens, and messages. Now is the time to pay attention to synchronicities and those moments when logic and reason fail to give you the full picture. Look at everything in your life as an opportunity for communion. Losing the need for self-centeredness, connecting to Source in a sacred, intimate way. You will not pray on your knees as a supplicant. You engage the great goddess as a partner in co-creation, participating in the making of worlds. No one needs to rescue you when you act empowered, aware, and awake. to the wondrous miracle you're a part of. Wow. So have no fear, because you're the co-creator here. Granted, any situation has the potential to go either way, right? There's the right again. Bottom of the deck, creative spark. I've noticed that when I do the reading, sometimes I'll take alternate meanings of the words versus what the words are generally meaning, if that makes any sense. So while you're making that communion and you're co-creating in this world, what kind of world are you creating based on your creative spark? Is it things that support you in your life and your choices and your decisions, or is it going to be something that is more down the road of fear and neglect and feeling stuck? But through self-love, as we were just talking about, through the communion and co-creating, we have to do the work in order to get wherever we want to go, whether that is in relationships, or if it's in maybe starting a new business, or starting a new exercise program, or starting a new class. The potential is within us. The time is now. If you're not sure, take a moment and let it be revealed to you. Even though time waits for no one, whatever is truly meant to be yours will be yours. No one can take that away from you. No matter how hard they try or whatever tactics they use, if it was really meant to be yours, it will always be yours. Maybe it hasn't come in a form that you thought it was going to be coming in. Maybe it was going to happen a different way than what you thought it was going to happen. Again, with the bottom of the deck, home. Maybe you're looking for a home and you really don't know how it's going to happen. But there's a creative solution to that problem, I'm sure. It's just going to come to you. Maybe someone who's a romantic love potentially could give you a home. Maybe they're coming out of some point in time where they've been stuck and they're now realizing the truth. And they're realizing, you know what? That's the person I want to co-create with and create the home. Just as this storyline has progressed through each card that's come out, life is the same way. When we started with the first card, we had romantic love, right? And that was such a vast general story that we could have went with. But as time goes on, we learned that the story will always just develop the way it's supposed to. I'm really distracted by the dog. I apologize, and I don't know why that is that's happening today. But that's all right. I'm just going to go with it. I'm not going to judge it, because she did this yesterday too. Can't make it up. As we know, the moon is always going to be the darkness, and it's going to illuminate, of course, if it's a full moon. But sometimes things are just not meant to be seen yet. Sometimes we do have to wait until the darkness of the night happens. And the next day is when things are revealed. Sleep on it. You don't have to make a decision now. There's a transformation happening. Perhaps in the way that you see yourself within a love relationship. Perhaps the way you see the other person. Just like I was saying earlier. Maybe there's someone else that you're supposed to be co-creating with. And their mental is transforming right now. Maybe they need to sleep on it. And once you sleep on it and you take the time to honor your thoughts, honor your wants, and co-create towards that direction, your whole life will be transformed because now you're devoted. You're devoted to what you want in life. You're devoted to what makes sense for you. There is potential in all things. But you have to allow things to transform in the way that they're meant to transform. You cannot force it. Devote yourself to your goals, to your ambitions, to the things that drive your spirit. Have trust in that. What you feel drawn to will not lead you astray. I do have to say a disclaimer there, though. If you are someone who picks up on somebody else's feelings and emotions, please check in with yourself and see if it's yours or their feelings. In my younger years, I didn't realize that I did that. I didn't realize that I would pick up on somebody else's feelings and I would claim them as my own and think that they were mine, and then realize later, wow, I can't believe I was really into that person like that. Be mindful that people do use spell work. I recently realized that was actually a real thing. And not some little thing that they were doing in the movies or whatever, haha, those shows. I thought it was just in the movies, just in shows. I didn't realize that there was actual people who walked around and did spell work and tried to make people bend to their will, or sex magic, things like that. I remember there was this person that I was talking to on the phone one time, and he spoke in tongues. And he said, "Where did you feel that?" And I was like, "Oh," and I told him where I felt it. Yeah. And he was like, "Okay." Only to find out decades later, literally 20 years later, that it could have possibly been spell work. And everything makes so much more sense now. But the first way to change a situation is awareness, right? And with awareness, all things are possible. All things are possible. With that said, you guys, devote yourself to your new path. Only positive things, okay? Co-create positivity and make it a great day.